Hello, and welcome to Let's Play Low Poly Modeling Myself, Episode 4, where we are going to create hair a variety of ways and show you the benefits of doing any of them. Right now, as you can see, I went over and I retopologized the head a little bit and scaled out areas that should be scaled out based on my reference image. That way it's more like my face. I generally always do this when I'm about to do hair, just to make sure. I then made some curves that outline exactly key silhouette areas of my hair, just by doing that. This way I can move the curves in three-dimensional space, more like natural hair. And then first I'm going to model around it, then I'm going to show you how you can use alpha planes to do the exact, or a similar effect, and we'll talk about them. Well, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to get to sculpting, which is using the exact same techniques we've been doing, of just creating polygons and moving them into areas. And I'll show you the result in a second. So I just wanted to show you some sculpted hair real quick. Didn't take too long to make. I just looked at the reference and tried to imagine where the polygons would be. And I'm just really, again, trying to go for the silhouette. Let me turn off, not use default material, but wireframe shaded. And you'll see holes because I haven't really fixed any of that yet. But does the silhouette look like my hair? Well, yeah. It's generally just how it hangs. And as you can see, the bulk of the hair is just really tendrils and creating bulk. The part's easy enough to create. And once both these areas are combined, I'm going to put a straight loop around here and make it a little bit more asymmetrical by reducing this area. Making your hair asymmetrical is always a great idea to give your model a little bit more complexity. I mean, even though my hair is generally always parted the same way, the hair always falls differently. Sometimes it gets brushed towards the ear. Sometimes it just hangs, like in this picture. Now, as you can see, we're pretty high poly now. We're not really high poly, I mean, that's an understatement. We're at 1,150. And remember, we wanted this under 1,000. There's tons of ways we can free up polygons. And to give you a kind of idea of how we're going to be doing that, I'll select some edge loops and I'll just delete them, kind of like what we did last time. But let's look for the wasteful ones. I mean, is my ribcage really going to need to bend? And we don't have calf muscle definition anymore, because I'm wearing pants. If I delete that, what do I get? $1,042. There we go. And we can keep doing this. We haven't even made triangles in the back or anything else. The arms are still pretty wasteful. Definitely the neck. So we're still pretty good on the budget. Again, we can also get rid of areas such as this, because we don't need knees to bulge out. And that's perfectly acceptable. $1,102. I must not have selected something last time. But, as you can see, we can keep moving. Keep taking them down. I really don't need these here. I put them there just so it can deform better. But do we really need the legs to deform at that level? Especially for such a low poly model? No, really not. We can add some more tries in here and reduce this. This doesn't have to be 6 sides up here. It can be 5 or even 4. We can still reduce in the butt and under the shirt by, again, taking the number of sides down or just deleting tries. And always, worst case scenario, club hands. Although, I like these, so we're probably going to keep them. But we can definitely reduce them. The thumb doesn't really need that much definition. For most games, you're never really going to move the thumb that much. But yeah, we still have a lot of tribes we can work with. We're kind of being wasteful because we can right now, and we'll reduce later. Let me get on making some good alpha examples for hair. So, I added some quick planes so you can get an idea of what that might look like. And here, I'll turn on wireframe on shaded so you can have a better idea of where they are. And as you can say, when you do the alpha plane method, you really just throw planes everywhere. Well, this one is not exactly accurate. You don't want floating hair. And your alpha will really take care of making it look like hair, because hair naturally folds into each other. You know, it sometimes looks like it's coming out of places it doesn't really exist. And as long as you make sure that it's coming from the root of the head and it looks like it's flowing naturally, you're really going to have good looking hair. And I didn't even really optimize the scalp again. All I did was duplicate it over. And this is just without the tendrils. And the amount of tries you save, let's see, this one, which remember is 168. And this one, which is pretty much going to end up the same shape with even more hair in the back. Actually, let's get rid of that so it can be fair. You know, same hairstyles, almost exactly. And it would look pretty much the same with alpha as well, with a bit more over here. And that's 120. It's 40 extra tries. And if we reduced the head further and added more tufts of alpha plane hair in order to compensate, we could break it down a lot more. I mean, let's look at these scalps. They're 98. We could probably get it down to, I don't know, save at least 20. You know, 20 tries here, 20 tries there. You're going to save a lot of tries just by doing an alpha method. Now, what does an alpha method look like when it's done? Because we've all seen, you know, this type of hair. This type of hair is pretty cool because you can actually rig it. And if you put soft bodies or some other type of, you know, jiggle deformer on it, when your character moves and you animate, it will just naturally rock. I mean, you can do the same thing with alphas, but sometimes you need the bulk of hair in order to make it get a really good effect. Now, what does alpha hair look like? Does it look really bad? Well, no, it actually looks really, really good. And I found a really good tutorial by someone who entered Dominance War 2 and did a really great job. And as you can see, alpha hair looks fantastic. And he has a great tutorial up, and I'll post it and notes on the video. And here's his website. But the tutorial's really, really great, and that's why I'm not really dedicating a lot of time to going over how to do alpha style hair, because honestly, this guy's much more experienced than me, and he's much better at it. He uses Maya hair to kind of get the hairstyle he wants, but honestly, you can do the exact same thing with, you know, a really good Photoshop brush, or, you know, just taking, you know, hair and getting a nice alpha of it. See? So the end result always looks fantastic, and you can do all different types of hairstyles when you're doing this, and he does a great job of explaining it. Here's a really nice kind of afro. And as you can see, like, you won't notice the alphas are there if you do it correctly. I mean, if you're in a no light situation, this is going to look fantastic, and he is not only in a no light situation, he's also using normal maps, so he's using dynamic lights. And when you're done, it looks fantastic. He shows you how to make a normal map for your hair. So this could work for higher poly counts and higher, you know, texture memories that you could use, and just make amazing, fantastic hair. I mean, this guy obviously is very, very, very experienced and really, really good at what he does. So don't expect that you're going to have the most fantastic hair ever. By the way, look at all the planes. But his technique will give you good looking hair. And if you get good at that, you're going to have fantastic looking hairy characters. And here's his Dominance War 2 entry, which the dog's kind of cute. So, that's it. Like I said, this video is going to be really, really short. I'm not sure yet. I really don't like using alpha hair 100% until I've seen it with a texture. So for now, we're probably going to use this. And until we reduce the poly count on the model, I can't really say for sure, which one we're going to end up going with. Again, I'm still trying to aim for under 1,000, and that means we will have a lot to cut. So let's see where our plan is right now. If we go with this hair, how much do we need to cut? Not much. Oh, didn't get the foot. There we go. That's probably what I was missing last time too. Yep. So we got to cut off, I'd say at least 150 tries. That way we could get our glasses in there and we can add more detail if we want to later. But as you can see, we're doing good. This is going to be a good low poly character. It's going to have all the tries we need for animation and in a no light setup. It's going to look fantastic, especially when we do a fantastic texture on it. Again, thank you. Again, this was just a short episode. Have a nice night.